Good evening, I'm JoAnne Santiglia, and tonight I'll go face-to-face with the council candidates in the city of Englewood. And welcome to Face to Face. My first guest tonight is Democratic Councilman Phil Ball, who is running for a second term in the city of Englewood in the 3rd Ward.
Right. Hi, JoAnne.
Why don't you tell us what you feel is the most important thing right now facing the city of Englewood?
JoAnne, Englewood has always been a terrific city. It's always been a prestige kind of city. They call it the Queen of the Palisades. I think the biggest problem that facing Englewood is kind of an intangible, but I think it's the problem of urbanization. Most people in Englewood view themselves as suburbanites. I don't think they want the problems of New York City. And with all due respect to your viewers and your audience, I don't think we want the problems of Fort Lee. Certainly from my point of view, we don't want high-rise, we don't want big apartment houses, we don't want a lot of density. We want to keep our green space, we want to keep the suburban look and the suburban feel. And that is a problem in some areas. We have an increasing problem in some of crime. We've had it for several years. We've had to restructure our police department because of that. We've had a problem in the schools. We've made tremendous progress now. So this is the thrust that we have to keep the city as a suburban, high-quality city where people enjoy life, the quality of life.
Let's break that down and find out more specifically how that can be accomplished. Since you mentioned high-rises, there are various issues of development that will be coming up.
Yep.
In fact, are very important right now in the city. The Armory Street project, the Westra area of the city being developed. Right now, what do you want to see? What kind of development do you want to see in those areas in the city?
Well, I don't want to see maximum ratables. When you talk to a developer has an economic and a profit motive, understandably, and the developer will tell you the more people or the more stores he can put in a particular amount of space, the more money he can make. My view is that we want to keep the height low, we want to keep the density low, we want to keep the quality high. We've done a terrific job on the Dean Street, the Engle Street and Dean Street corridor. If your viewers go there now and go shopping, it's like shopping on Madison Avenue. I think we want more of a spread of the small boutiques, the small specialty stores that are not in competition with the mall, that will bring people in to shop, because there are shops in Englewood that people don't find in other parts of Bergen County. I'm sure you as a woman know that. Mm-hmm. You find a quality of merchandise which is outstanding. That's the quality that we want in the Westra development. In terms of the Armour Street development, we want to get rid of the housing that's deficient. We must provide a place for those people to relocate right there if they want. I'm not particularly interested in Yuppieville there. I'm not interested in putting in $400,000 condominiums. But I would like to see affordable or moderate price homes. Where do you find that in America right now? Where young people like yourself can come in and buy a house and be proud of the city that you live in. So that's the goal. Affordability in terms of housing, quality in terms of shops. By the way, in the Astra, or the West Street development, we probably would want a very extensive supermarket, very large, that would bring people in from many parts of the trading area. As you know, in my area, we recently lost a Grand Union. A lot of the senior citizens particularly have been hurt. They don't have a place to shop, and that's a problem.
About the displacing residents for the residential development, is that going to be a important priority that they don't get lost in the shuffle?
You can't let people get lost in the shuffle, JoAnne, because the state of New Jersey has got very comprehensive laws that protect the people there. So while you're doing your planning for new development, you've got to do planning for substitute housing, or where these people are going to move into. And that's a problem. The City Council doesn't want to offer subsidies to the builder, and the builder is going to have to do that within his profit structure. And that's a difficult thing to get around. We're going to have to negotiate our way around that one.
Let's focus on your ward, the 3rd Ward. Any particular issues or problems that are germane to your ward?
Well, I've been delighted with the progress we've made in my ward, and I don't think that you can do a lot of horn tooting or pounding on one's chest, because there's been such a renaissance in the ward. We have new housing, and we have housing that's been rehabilitated, but I find that in many cities throughout the United States. We've made remarkable economic progress in the past 3 years. The problems that we have right now in the Third Ward, certainly we have to keep on enhancing the image of the schools. That got hurt, and the council put in a spending plan which enables us to bring those schools up to, bring all the buildings up to maximum quality. And we have the money and we have the plan on board. We'll have them up to standard within 3 years. Most of the work has already been done. By the way, you know, one point the state chastised us for the quality of the buildings, and now we've licked that. The next problem now, not a problem, but is to get the curriculum up to the point where we have the academics in a very acceptable manner. Dwight Morrow has always sent kids to the top Ivy League schools, and we want to keep them there.
We've got under 2 minutes left.
Go ahead.
Use the time as you want. Other issues maybe you feel are important, enhancing the schools you talked about, or taxes, ratables?
I think the people have to be convinced that, well, first, our tax rate now is below that of other towns. For the first time, we're no longer the highest taxed town in Bergen County. I think at this point that people have to be convinced that the quality is back. We always had great quality in that town. It got seriously affected in the late 60s and early 70s. I think the quality is back. I think that residents have to have a continuing sense of pride. Our real estate values have been rising in the town, forgetting what happened in the stock market and interest rates recently, but real estate values have been rising. I think we've got to keep that pride intact and keep it going a lot harder. And I think we will be able to do it. By the way, one of the things that we have to do is attract new people to town. We have an increasing older population, and I think as people hear the message about the quality of the schools, about the quality of life, which I think is superior to most neighboring suburban areas, we're really going to have an enthusiastic population get back in. That's the intangible. That's the way I see the town.
Just about 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
You talked about quality of life. What about services, garbage pickup and whatnot? Things getting better very quickly?
They've gotten significantly better. We have a new director down the DPW. A lot of the discontent of the labor forces has eased, and certainly my telephone is not ringing as much anymore. When I first got in office, it was ringing off the wall, and now the pickup has been more consistent. And we still have to make it even more consistent. We also have to get our street sweeping back to 2-3 times a week as it used to be in the past. We fell down on that, but we'll get back up there.
Terrific.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Good.
coming by.
Right.
And when Face to Face continues tonight, we'll talk with the other council candidates in the city of Englewood. Stay with us.